Hey friends, Donovan here with Trumpet Thoughts. So a thought today, as many of you know, if you've watched the channel, you're aware of like my kind of embouchure progression and how I've been really leaning into using TCE or the tongue controlled embouchure really since August of 2023. So what is that? Like it's been 6 months, something like that. And um, I thought I would share a couple of somewhat random thoughts here that are going to tie together some experiences I had through lessons I had with both Bobby Shue and Brian Davis. And Brian Davis has the Trumpet A to Z and Airflow music YouTube trumpet channel, which is fantastic. You should go check that out. Watch this, I guess, and then go go check his stuff out. He's an amazing player and just great instruction. Really enjoy it. But I had a lesson with Brian last year, and this was kind of pre me getting into TCE. But in my lesson with him, we were talking about tongue level, and he shared that rather than tongue level, he thinks more of tongue distance, and specifically the distance from the tongue to the embouchure or the lips. And I think that's really interesting. And at the time, I kind of was like, okay, I don't quite get that. But now that I've been using TCE, I totally get that. And so I think in a way, I don't know that Brian would say he's a TCE user. He probably wouldn't say that. But I think that he ultimately is. Maybe not all the time, but he definitely made it clear that as he ascends to the upper register, like his tongue, and I'll try to use my finger analogies here, but if these are his lips, he made it very clear. Oh, I wish there was an easy way to do this. That as he ascends, that if this is his tongue, that his tongue is getting closer and closer to those lips and making even contact with them. And according to him, John Faddis also does the same thing, and through conversations that he's had with Faddis. So with tongue level, we often think about the tongue being further back from the lips, behind the teeth, obviously, and, kind of just sort of going up and down, maybe arching towards the front of the mouth, which is closer to the lips, which is interesting. But specifically with this is getting closer to the lips. And I totally have had that experience. I can just even demonstrate that for you quickly just through lip buzzing or free buzzing, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But here I'll buzz, and what I'll do is I'll start with buzzing, and my tongue will kind of be like in contact with the lips like that. And then I'll start to pull the tongue back, and you'll hear the pitch drop, and then I'll pull it forward. So you hear all those distinct pitches, and that tongue's moving back. I'll try to do a little bit of that again and just represent how far the tongue's moving. It's not as far as you think. So right there, I can feel both the top lip and the bottom lip with my tongue. Honestly, I can still feel a little bit of that top lip, but it's like bouncing off and down off of it. Now I can't feel the top lip at all. Well, every once in a while it flaps and it's hitting the top of my tongue. So for that high pitch, it's like pushing, and my lips they lift a little bit, kind of come back. It's not really a smile, and then I'm pulling back that way, but it's a taste of a smile. It's just a little bit of that, and you can see it when the videos of Jerry Callett playing. He'd have that same kind of that lift a little bit, or these corners of here are starting to kind of come up. Even he would say how he can feel his bottom lip, and he was talking about the sides of his bottom lip would often rise above his top teeth, not the whole lip like that, but the corners like that would kind of come up. almost like a pseudo lift, not a smile in terms of stretching, just to be clear. So I find that real interesting. That's my engagement with the tongue. Now, the portion about Bobby's shoe, I'm going to save that for the next video because that content deserves its own thing. But I wanted to just kind of show you this tongue and the lip engagement if you're using TC. Now, again, you don't have to do it this way. You can play with your tongue behind your teeth and do the tongue arch. Totally fine to do that. That's how most people play. But I was looking for different results and something different. And for me, I was finding the tongue arch still wasn't quite working enough for the way I wanted. But that tongue distance is really critical. And for me specifically, I found that it's the key to upper register. So for upper register, it's the tongue pushing forward against the lips kind of resisting, and that creating the tension, the vibrating tension that creates upper level pitches, upper register pitches. So, and technically lower level pitches, lower register pitches as we relax that tongue engagement. So I hope that helps and helps clear up some of that misconception, or at least maybe gives you a better understanding, changes your paradigm of how this TC system works.